Hey everyone. Wait a minute. Oh, that's fine. I had to change some stuff earlier trying to figure things out, but anyway, so, you know, welcome, friends, foes, members of the Omni Council. Daimien Kamiya here, Omni Kingdom, or Omni King of the Omni Kingdom. Hey Molotov, thank you. Boy, was today not what I wanted it to be. So, I planned to actually play a game today, and now this stream is probably just going to turn into like a 15-30 minute stream when it was originally planned to be maybe hour, 2 hour. I debated playing another game, but it really wasn't working out, so I just decided to say, hey, it's my birthday, and then transition into the surprise I have. Oh, just complications. You know, I might as well just get to the surprise. Let me just move myself over to the side here. So the surprise is this. This beautiful young lady right here. This is Adira Suliek, and she is the member of the Omni Council known as the Dragon. So her powers are power manipulation. How do I spell her name? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna update it now. In the description, I actually have. I try to make sure it's in every description. I have going forward, but sometimes I forget. But in the description, I try to contain all the relevant lore information of my characters. As well, their name, their title, their powers, and when granted, when their name is revealed along with their artwork, I also list their illustrator. So this one was done by Jamina. I found her on Fiverr, and she did an absolutely fantastic job designing Adira. I gave her very... Oh, sorry, paper fell. I gave her very... hey, Silva! Thanks for stopping by. I'm introducing my surprise. So this is Adira Suliek. She's a member of the Omni Kingdom, like myself. She serves under the title of the Dragon. Her power is power manipulation. And if we make her a little bit bigger, you'll notice some stuff. I want to go over her a bit more in detail here. Jamina, sorry Molotov, Jamina, not Kamina. I think you got it completely right outside of the K. So I've mentioned this before to a few people, especially like Min. I've mentioned it to as well. Let me actually get her. You know, let me put her name on the on stream here, just so we can see it. fixed. I don't think I'm gonna need it that big. Do that one. Okay, maybe a bit bigger than that. That might do. This is her name up here. Let me get a background to that too. Make it a bit bigger as well. 75%. There we go. So this is the artist that drew Adira. The necklace, that's what I was just about to get to. I need to add that to OBS too, don't I? You can tell I was a little bit disorganized here. That's the one I sent, I believe, was it not? Just making sure. This is what's on her necklace. Might look very familiar, as if it matches something on my hoodie. This is the symbol of the dragon. And when I mentioned to Jamina that, hey Simran, thanks for stopping by. I'm introducing another member of the Omni Kingdom. Now, I mentioned that I wanted to play a game. My initial plan was to have her join me. Sadly, microphone issues. And I'll leave it at that. Yeah, well, like I've mentioned before, Molotov, but every member of the kingdom's having a logo. But when I mentioned to Jamina that this logo needed to be included, I said I didn't particularly care where. So she decided to make it a necklace. Now, sadly, unlike mine on my hoodie, it's not as clear to see, but the logo, it's there. It's there and it's in the open. There's a ton of other stuff here to do with the design that I want to go over here too. So I'm going to zoom in a bit more. Another small delay that occurred that pushed this stream back a little bit. When Jamina initially sent me the artwork, she sent me a PNG, but it had a pure white background. So I had to quickly message her to see if she could send me one with a transparent background. So it delayed the start of the stream a little bit. Yeah, so I mentioned to her that Adira, so I think I don't know if I've said this before, but none of the members of the Omni Kingdom really had defining traits to me. Especially Adira, probably more than anyone. Adira never had defining traits. Her hair color always changed. I never saw a face. Her eyes, I never paid much attention to. Right? Like, to me, all that mattered was her personality. So I never saw much. And you can see, I meant, color-wise, I decided, again, I never really cared about her clothing much. So I found some outfits that I thought might look nice on her. And then when prompted about the color, this is where Jamina really took some creative freedom, and it worked out rather well. So she recommended some colors to me, and I said, well, my color scheme is purple, green, and orange. So maybe it might be better if she runs primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. So that way, she contrasts with me rather well. Second, the gold. I mentioned, so Adira was once a princess in the kingdom, in her world / kingdom, she was a princess. The gold Jamina decided to include as a means of symbolizing her former royal status. And then if you look on the shoulders, you see like kind of like a dragon scale type plaiting, as well as the flame pattern on the skirt. Jamina included that also in reference to the fact that, you know, she is the dragon. That's what she is. Right? And then the boots. The boots are good. One thing she definitely did well that I really appreciate was one of the biggest things I pushed for in this design, more than anything, was that I did not want her overly sexualized. There are several females in my character lore and stuff, and the last thing I wanted was any of them to basically be boobs on a human body. You know, she is designed to be, you know, this is a very powerful character. She manipulates power itself, even conceptual power. Right? So so I don't want her to be seen as, you know, like just an attractive female. Like, she can be attractive, I don't care. Like, I wanted her to kind of be a mix of beautiful and badass. But I didn't want her to be just, you know, like, I don't want her, I think I've made my point, but I simply didn't want her to be a sex figure, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm not even saying big boobs are a problem, Molotov. I'm saying that 90% of times you see big boobs, they're combined with skimpy outfits. Ones that barely hold them, or, you know, like, are like skin tight, like it's, you know, like, because, you know, anything can be fine, but when you define it with sexy is really what bothers me to some degree, because then you're caring more about the visuals of the character rather than the character itself. And I refuse to have that. Yeah, exactly. This is absolutely not, you will not find that on my stream, Simran. You will not find that. Any female characters that are a part of the Omni Kingdom are going to be absolute badasses. Hell, some have committed mass genocide. Some have committed patricide. Actually, several have committed patricide. You're looking at one of them. So, they're not all like happy-go-lucky characters necessarily. And I think I talk about that in my lore video where I say that they're not heroes. You know, I don't create them to be, you know, these people don't exist to be heroes. As a matter of fact, some of them would classify more as villains, if anything. Yeah, exactly. To me, like, I'll spoil this now, but majority of the members of the Omni Kingdom are female. Majority are female. So last thing I want to do is represent them as, oh, it's girl number 1 and girl number 2 and girl number 3. No, this is Adira Suliak, judge. Priest was her beta name. Priest, engineer, warrior, right? They have, you know, they have names. I'll reveal the name when I reveal the character. Yeah, so eventually, hopefully I can collab with Adira when microphone settings all work up and work well together. I may need to pull someone in for assistance on that, though. Maybe see if I can get a friend or something to help. But yeah, so this is Adira. Let's zoom her back out so you can get the full body shot again. So when it comes to name-wise, so here's the thing. I've personally never been a fan of names that don't mean anything. Like, well, names that mean too much. Like, I've said this before, that in some animes, you have a character named Yuki, and then they suddenly get ice powers. And to me, it's always really strange that their name correlates with the power they obtain. And I guess you could say Adira falls into that category, as much as I don't like to admit it. But that involves a little bit of character creation development within Adira, where Adira, unlike the Knights of the Omni Kingdom, Adira never used to be reincarnated. Adira actually used to be very much like the Guardians, where she was the only one left alive after the creation of the creation of existence. As such, she named herself Adira Suliek. However, when I decided to change her to a reincarnated character, I never changed the name because I was too attached to it. So when it comes to the name, Adira it means like power or strength in Hebrew. I was just looking for a name that meant power or strength or something like that. I believe it's in Hebrew. And then Suliek is actually from Skyrim. It's from the Elder Scrolls franchise. Suliek means power in the dragon language, which symbolizes relatively well with the fact that, she is the dragon. So, yeah, there's not really much else to say in regards to her that I want to say. I plan to hopefully get her on stream at some point to discuss things herself. Also, while I haven't put the commission in yet because things cost money, I do plan to get a new background image. Not necessarily for chatting and stuff, but maybe. We'll see if I can get a version with this chat window included. But I want to get one that kind of has more of like a council room setting to it. And then when a character debuts, I can take this symbol, shrink it down, and place it above their chair. Right? To symbolize that, that their seat has been claimed. Technically, all seats have been claimed, but, I mean, like, actively within the stream anyways. Yeah, what do you guys think about Adira? What do you guys like about her design? Or absolutely not the time for a bot. Oh, no. I'm really happy with what Jamina did. I'm really happy. When I initially got the initial, yeah, no problem. And to both people. I initially got, when she initially sent me the sketch, so not colored in, very like basic details. When she sent me the sketch, again, I had no concept on really what Adira looked like in my head. This is just kind of a character that had a personality, but not really an appearance. So, again, I gave very little information to Jamina, but she worked really well with it. And when she sent me that initial sketch, I didn't have any changes to make. Like, to read exactly what I told her when she sent me that initial sketch back. Let me just scroll up a little bit. I said, not going to lie, looking at that sketch, it's like clearing the fog in my head. I wasn't too sure what I was going to think because this was a very important character to me, but I didn't really know what she looked like. I was worried I might be too judgmental, but I look at the sketch and it's like, this is what she looks like to me. No question to that. It's a statement. This is actually making me super happy knowing that I finally have an image, a face to a character that has been in my head for almost a decade. And then she sent me a grayscaled coloration of Adira. And my only comment to that was, the moment I looked at it, a big smile formed on my face and won't leave. So I hope that gives you an idea of how I feel about this. Those were my comments to her as she continued to work on this, and she did such a fantastic job, and I'm super happy with what she did. Once her mic works, there's so much more content coming, because now you have the witty banter of two fools. She can be pretty goofy for someone that can annihilate the universe. But then technically speaking, so can I. But yeah, I'm there's really not I could just sit here and gush over her design constantly, but yeah, so my initial plan was if microphones decided to work, if you know, voice recording and stuff decided to work, I probably would have played Monster Prom with Adira, but sadly that it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But I will troubleshoot in the background and see how things go from there. Beyond that, I don't really have anything else planned for this stream. I don't really want it to be a gaming stream, unless, you know, I was going to include the surprise of Adira. And then I suppose I can spoil this now. I guess another bonus surprise. So going forward, I made a promise to myself after Adira was revealed, the next character I would reveal was going to be based off the opinions of some friends I made since starting VTubing. I asked every friend to pick 2 VTubers that they like, or 2 knights that they liked out of the 8. Every single person I asked replied with the judge. Every single person. No one repeated a second option. Some people said, one person said warrior, one said elemental, one I told, you know, one was the engineer, one was the traveler, you know, I told everyone picked the judge and another person. Yet when I asked them to, you know, what character do you want to know more about, no one picked the judge. But with that said, the judge will be the next character I commission to be joining me on stream. And that will be an interesting one to be sure. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add to this stream unless anyone wants to have any questions about Adira's design. I'll leave it up to the couple of you that are in chat. Rest of my birthday, nothing really. Probably get off stream and then just play video games. Birthdays don't particularly mean too much to me anymore, so, you know, maybe, you know, when microphones want to work and And, you know, as my popularity as a VTuber increases over time, birthdays will mean more and more to me. Well, that's the thing. It's like, that's what VTubers do, though, Molotov. Like, not to pressure you or anything, but if you actually look at most milestones that VTubers have, such as birthdays, anniversaries, etc., they're always releasing, you know, like, for bigger companies, they're releasing merchandise. Right, whether it's like voice packs or like actual like physical pieces of merchandise. So I wanted my birthday stream to have a little surprise to it. Oh yeah, fair enough. But I will be posting the image of Adira here on Twitter as well, so people can gush over her there as well. Yeah, well, I'm not going to invest in merch until I have a fan base big enough to know that they'll buy something. But yeah, so my plans for the future in terms of my step plan is more character, next character commission, so the judge, a commission for the kind of like a council room, and finally figure out microphone situations so Adira can join me on stream and you can hear the two of us banter. There's banter between us. Let's just say Adira really likes me. You know, and I like her too, but she likes me. I would say she likes me more than I like her, at least in a physical, or at least in a, I shouldn't say physical, in a more public way, right? So, she can be a bit clingy at times. So, it's her being clingy and me constantly shutting her down, if that's a part of our dynamic. But with that said, I think I'll just yeah. I think I will probably just end the stream here because I have nothing more to add. So thanks guys for swinging by on my birthday stream and seeing the introduction of Adira Suliek to the Omni Kingdom. Also, as mentioned in the description, is a Google Docs sheet that is viewable, and I update it as often as I can. And yeah, one sec. Yep, I update it as often as I can. But obviously it doesn't really need too much updating because it only gets updated when a character is revealed. Thank you, Molotov, and thanks everyone else that stopped by. Daimien Kamiya, Omni King, along with, beside me, Adira Suliek, the dragon. Thanks for stopping by, and see you later. Bye!